Goes, what's your thoughts on the fight just as a whole?
If Tyson Fury doesn't change anything like he keeps saying he's not, then the result will be exactly the same. If Tyson Fury... The problem is, Usyk now has a blueprint for beating Tyson Fury. But Usyk now knows, he doesn't think, now knows he can hurt Tyson Fury. Now knows he's a bit faster, a bit sharper, he can get away with certain things. He knows this. Usyk was coming in around the 15 stone bracket. And so he knows he has the speed, he has the power, and he has the boxing ability to beat him. He knows what to expect. So the second time around, unless Tyson Fury changes drastically, and I still believe Tyson Fury has the beating of it, I think he chose the wrong tactics. I think what they probably worked on was the wrong thing. Tyson's a better fighter, Usyk's a better boxer. They can both fight and they can both box. One is good at better at the other one than the other. So how does it? It's about measuring it out. You know, Tyson's got to box him, be a little dirty, play close to the bone, make him feel uncomfortable, get him complaining. He's got to do that. He's got to change it up. If he does exactly the same thing in the first place, he loses. It doesn't matter what weight he comes in at.
And those are the words of Johnny Nelson. You know, you do the same, you get the same. Pretty much, that's what he needed to do. He talked about the adjustments, and let's get to it. Let me counterpunch. Johnny Nelson is very pragmatic when it comes to this, but he's very spot on with Alexander Usyk. See, Usyk knows that he can hurt Tyson. See, before, we were all in this big guessing game on what Usyk could do based on his size. Everybody kept talking about the size. If you guys can remember, if you guys go back before the fight happened, before May, everyone in their mob, the ones that said, man, Usyk's good, he's a good boxer, he can fight, he can do this, he do that. We've seen the two Joshua fights and the Derek Chisora fight. He's good, you know, he struggled a little bit. He had a little tribulation there with him, you know, a little challenge with Derek Chisora, but you know what I mean? We just don't know because he's just too small. Tyson's just too big. David versus Goliath and all this. You guys remember all of that. And when I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, okay, well, the dude's 6'3", 220 plus pounds, and he's too small. You know what I mean? And that always bothered me about what people had to say, because everyone that doubted Usyk doubted him because of that reason. He's just too small. Tyson, you know, he's been there with Wilder, and he can't hurt him because he got up from the Wilder shots. Yeah, and, you know, and Wilder couldn't drop him. Nobody could drop him. And what happened? Like, ask yourself, what really happened? Well, what really happened is Usyk was able to do what he did with other heavyweights, because Tyson Fury, regardless of how big he perceives to be, you know, you can only take so many shots before your jaw and everything else starts breaking down. You know what I mean? And I got another video coming about that with a good friend of mine. But to explain further, yeah, I do think the mental edge is to Usyk, because Usyk knows that, hey, I can hurt him now, so I don't have to worry about putting every shot together and punching Tyson with all my might to get respect, like someone like Canelo did moving up to 175 when he fought Bivol. You know what I mean? It won't be that type of situation. Now it's like, hey, he can hurt me, I can hurt him. And in speaking of that, though, people, the only counter I have for Johnny Nelson is people forget that Tyson Fury hurt Alexander Usyk as well with a shot. Usyk admitted it. Yo, that dude hit me and I seen stars and birds and right? I seen that when I got hit, and I asked God to help me because ain't nobody else could. You know what I'm saying? So so people need to understand, and I don't think they give Tyson enough credit for doing what he did to Usyk as well, because that uppercut, bro, Usyk did not see that. Bow! And you seen him get on that bike. Just like Lomachenko did when Leonidas dropped him on the seat of his pants. He had to take a regrouper. He had to take a break. Okay, and that's what Usyk did. He got on that bike, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna dance around a little bit and get my mind right, because he did ring my bell. So yes, Tyson is also able to hurt Alexander Usyk. Okay, so we can't forget that. So that's why I don't say, well, if you do the same, you get the same. No, not necessarily. I think if Tyson maybe tweaks some things, maybe he will be able to be victorious, Definitely if he decided to, give up the showboating, which we'll see if that happens because he is somewhat of a payaso in his own right, a clown in his own right, a showman by his own right. He is that guy, so we'll see what he does on that night. However, that I think did break his concentration from focus on what he needed to get done. You know what I mean? But as far as rough house tactics, I think Tyson Fury, it's not the most tasteful thing. But hey, winning's winning. So if you got to do what you got to do, right? T.I. So I think that's what it has to be done. And if he's better at doing that, let it be. We've seen him in the Wilder fight. The only problem is Wilder wasn't as coordinated as Usyk. So even if he decides to go that route and go that route much, I think he's still going to have some issues with Usyk because Usyk's able to get out of that. And you know what I mean? He's not that guy you can just grab and just punch on. He's not going to let you do that. He's physically strong and he's physically capable of being agile enough to get out of those particular situations where Wilder really wasn't. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Johnny Nelson stating, if Tyson Fury doesn't change what he's doing or what he did in the first fight, it's good night because Usyk will beat him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!